What do you think, bud?
Pretty cool. Just hot water.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel again. We're going to do some hiking today. Alright guys, we ready to walk?
Yeah. Yep.
Which one are we thinking about doing? Which one?
I don't know. We go out there and around.
Alright, let's do it. This is the one. What you doing up there?
Road access, and a lot of hiking trails behind them, which is pretty nice. Most of the families that own these places are not from the local area, so most of them just come in for a couple of weeks or months in the summertime. And I do want to highlight some of the larger, more interesting places, like this one coming up on the left. Over to our left is Camp Kahuna, one of the bigger properties on the lake. Starts with a 3-stall boathouse, and they've got about 950 feet of shoreline, so it's on the size of 4 normal properties. So they also have a 5-stall boathouse, 1 main residence, which we call a camp, 2 guest camps behind the trees, 2 oversized garages, home with a full woodworking shop, 3 full-time and 2 part-time caretakers boats after it, and 7 beautifully restored mahogany boats with the name of the owner's kids on the back. Pretty nice, huh? I wish I could you guys it was my place, but I'm not that lucky. This is owned by a gentleman by the name of William Berkeley. He owns a bunch of multinational insurance companies, and I just found out a couple of years ago from one of our passengers that his business is publicly traded on the stock exchange. Lake Placid Lodge is the only hotel built on the main part of the lake. We're looking at a 4-star resort. This is in the Relais and Chateau family flight hotel, so you're talking very high standards for food, service, and wine. I gotta admit, their tour boat's a little nicer than ours. It's that 36-foot wooden hackercraft with Name Crispy on the back. It's got an 8-liter V8, so that baby really fires up when you start it. The main building was completely rebuilt after they had a bad kitchen fire in 2005. When they rebuilt, they kind of emulated the Great Camp style of architecture with all those beautiful dormers, 19 fireplaces, a bunch of chimneys, rough-hewn stone, and even look at the railing, it's all made out of twigs, all to evoke that rustic elegance of the Adirondacks. If this looks vaguely familiar, guys, the Lake Placid Lodge was a filming location for the HBO miniseries Succession, part of season 2 they filmed there. I think it was episode 6. And look at these 17 little cabins. All these little cabins are part of the lodge as well. Alright guys, now that your captain's all out of breath after that rundown, any guesses as to the overnight rates to stay there? It's up there, yeah, everything's going up. It's going to run you at least $800 a night to as much as $2,600 a night. But don't worry, they throw in a free wood boat ride at 4 p.m. and a continental breakfast. You got that going for you. It's kind of a triple camel's hump. The tallest of that group of 3 is Algonquin. That's the second highest mountain in New York, about 5,100 feet. And then right about the center of our field of view is a big dome-shaped mountain in the hazy distance. That would be Mount Marcy. Marcy is the tallest point in New York State, 5,344 feet tall. So as you may know, all around us in the High Peaks region, we have what are called the 46ers. That's the shorthand we use for the 46 mountains originally surveyed to be 4,000 feet tall. A lot of us like to take up the hiking challenge and hike all 46 high peaks. Personally, that endeavor only took me about 19 years to get through my first round, which I finished about 8 years ago. And then I found out that 2 young ladies in their 20s hiked all 46 high peaks in 3.5 days, which is crazy. The log trim, the white birch bark accents, the twig work around the windows. Now, I know we have a few kids on board, and I'm guessing most of these kids and their older folks have seen the Lion King movie. Try to read the name of that camp written right in the front railing in twig work, and let me give you a little hint. Yeah, you got it. Yep, I was going to say, read the second word first. You got it. Hakuna Matata. How cool is that? Well, this family had 4 little girls when they were building that. They had 1 VHS tape they kept playing over and over again. They finally said, okay, we're going to name it Hakuna Matata. Does anybody remember what that song meant? No worries. Nice name for a summer home, right? There to the left. That's called Camp Woodstock. This was another one of these large children's camps where the boats would bring the kids up and they stay for a week or so. It's been out of operation about 10 years now when the owner sold it off, and so it's kind of overgrown and boarded up. This is owned by the same family that owns Smoke Signals, a nice restaurant on Main Street. Pretty good barbecue, by the way. For whatever reason, they decided not to restore it, and it's up for sale again. And whoever ends up buying this, they're going to have a lot of privacy, because get this. For the next 2 miles, everything on the left, the whole north end of the lake for the next 2 miles is forever wild. You guys can come up here in 10 or 20 years, somebody's kids can come up here a lot after that. You're never going to see another structure up here. This is protected by the state constitution, no development ever, reverting back to its primitive forest state. And as promised, everybody on the left is getting a great view of Whiteface. So guys, at the top of the mountain is a weather station. Follow the summit down to the left. You'll see the notch sticking out. That's actually a stone castle that right now it looks more like wood because they've got a bunch of wood around it. They're doing some restoration work. How many of you guys have been to the top of Whiteface Mountain? Show of hands. Looks like only a few. Okay, so Whiteface is the only one of the high peaks where you can drive up in your passenger Italian-made mahogany boat. They're made in Lake Como, Italy, and they started about 300 grand. So he owns an aerospace engineering company on Long Island, and that was built in its more modest form over 100 years ago for a guy by the name of Lockwood, who supposedly invented the cardboard milk carton. Talk about a weird claim to fame, right? And so it goes, guys. We could go on and on with these stories, but in the hour or so that they give us to give you a boat ride, my goal is to kind of give you a nice broad brush. So we kind of bounced around a lot of little topics to Give you a pretty good basic dose of the history of the Adirondacks and the Forest Preserve. A little bit about Whiteface Mountain. We got the seasoned wildlife, including an eagle. Hopefully that's work for you. We don't usually get a lot of big celebrity sightings, but this is a resort town, so you do get some famous people that come up from time to time and keep a low profile. Bruce Springsteen has rented that place over there on the left quite a few times as well, the red pennant on the flag. So, here we come up this time of year because his daughter Jessica is quite the equestrian. She do the horse show and they kind of build a summer vacation around it. And just in my years here, I've seen people like Tom Cruise. About 100 floating slips. These are long-term lease parking spots for boats. These are in high demand. There's very low turnover, so sometimes families that want these have to wait several years on a wait list. Remember, these boat slips are pretty necessary if you got one of those boat access camps because you got to get your stuff in the car, and then you got to get it to the boat, and the boat goes back and forth. And all these boats have to come out of the water before the end of the season so they don't get stuck in the ice. They'll get trailered off somewhere else and stored. But all these big docks basically just stay right in the water and get frozen right in place. That's why I spend about the first 3 weeks of my summer job just helping to fix docks. All right, folks, that's going to do it. You can see we're making our final turn on our way back into the dock, so it's time for Captain Tom to do a quick wrap-up.
Is that your house over there?
Yeah, it is.
Metal roof on there?
Okay, so we took another short trail to the Brewster Peninsula. It's a part of Lake Placid. Haley's just learning how to walk. Anyhow, this is where the water flows out of Lake Placid.
I really want to, but my feet are gonna get soaked.
Anybody know what kind of snake that is? Put it in the comments below. Alright, we're going to check out the horse show for a couple minutes. Pretty big deal here.